What's up, everybody? My name is Erin, and welcome to the Mad Maker Studio, and welcome back for another round of Where the Water Tastes Like Wine. We are on a mission to collect everyone's Chapter 2s and unlock Chapter 3. As we learned earlier, that Chapter 3 is a whole other level. And when we get everyone's Chapters 3 unlocked, then we're just going to proceed like we were initially. Just, you know, whoever's campfire comes up, that's who we'll talk to. So let's roll. Huge storm, this farmer gasps, pointing to the clouded horizon. We gotta get the produce indoors before the fields wash out. Can you help? You and his family strip the fields of vegetables. When the rain hits, you're all safe inside, and you've got some coins in your pocket. Move on. Alright, so it seems like the little stat boost houses will fill which stat we're lacking, which is very nice. And I do believe that this is Dahaya, and we have her Chapter 3 unlocked. I believe, yes. So we're going to go past her. We're going to make a beeline for Fidelina and then Bertha. And then we'll try to go back to the East Coast for Little Ben. But since he would be technically the last one, we might just go ahead and start, you know, whoever we happen upon next. But definitely Fidelina and Bertha, they're both in Nevada. And something else I was thinking about, if you'll notice, there are 16 categories of tarot card, and there are 16 characters. So I'm wondering if they each correlate, like if this is a direct layover to this. I don't know, it's a lot. There's a lot to still unpack, and we are creeping up. We're getting closer and closer to collecting all the stories. I have a feeling we might miss a few. We're going to try to not do that. And you've heard me ramble enough. Let's go see our girl, Fidelina. Want to make some cash? This woman asks. She's balancing a box of bread and lettuce on her head. You help her grill hot sandwiches in a tent at the edge of the county fair. The work is easy as hell, and she pays decent money too. Move on. Alright, so confirmed we were lacking in money, and we got that filled back up. And I wanted to go ahead and fill my money meter just in case we decided to take a train in the next city. And maybe after we get through with Fidelina and Bertha, we can take an easy trip back to the East Coast for Little Ben. The policeman in the truck on this corner is having a pretty wild argument with someone on the other end of the radio. No, he keeps saying. No way. You listen in as the man on the radio finishes a wild story about the White Rider bearing the souls of the dead. Wait a second. I'll swear this is what happened, the cop over the radio insists. That's when it clicks. You know this story. It's a stranger version of the story of the White Rider in the desert, but with some bits left out or replaced. Ain't true, the cop in the truck sighs. If only he knew. Move on. Alright, I'm gonna pause right here and try to swap out stories that I think I've told Fidelina, but I don't remember because I've not been keeping track of them.
Buen día, friend. Since we last met, I continue to make las curaciones and to hobo las brujas so that they cannot do harm. Las brujas work with the will of El Diablo. Wherever I journey, I seek them out and stop them. I also search to find an apprenticed curandera of my own. But now, do you have a story about hope? About happiness and the goodness in the world?
I believe I do, but I am so excited to potentially get to tell her about the corpse we found in the desert who said he was cursed by 2 witches.
Mi corazón. That was a good story about family. When una bruja completes her pact with El Diablo, she forsakes la familia that gave her life. It breaks una familia to lose a daughter to the way of las brujas. Una curandera strengthens her community. Y las brujas, they become jealous. Do you have any frightening stories? Have you seen the work of las brujas on your travels?
Yes, this is it. This is it. Where is he? Haha.
No entiendo. Is this a joke?
Well, that was a letdown. I was very excited to tell you this story. At least, okay, I guess now I know it's supposed to be a funny story. But this zombie in the desert said he was cursed by 2 witches. Literally, that's what he said. And I thought you would gain value from that. Not gonna lie, I'm disappointed.
Death? I do not abide the destrucción de las brujas. It is not natural. Death is part of la vida. But I will fight against those who try to bring it before it is time. Dios, take las brujas. Oh, please, tell me a story sobre la esperanza and all the good in this world.
Okay, we have her eye fully open. So I'm going to, with the rest of these stories, I'm going to try to play around with some that I'm not quite sure what genre they're in and glean information that way.
What a good story. Esperanza. It is not so sure.
Sorry.
As I go on my travels, I find there is not as many places for una curandera. Ways of la curación are being forgotten. That the ways of las brujas will not fade the same way. Oh, please, tell me a story sobre la esperanza and all the good in this world. I don't think we share a sense of humor.
Alright, I forgot it was a funny story.
Why I travel? I don't know who was. La bruja that cursed my daughter. But I felt when she came in my pueblo and when she left. She did not show herself the coward, but I will find her. I walk la tierra to find an apprentice and to find la bruja that dare curse una curandera.
So this is interesting because it seems like, you know, she's projecting an image of positivity and hopefulness and all the good things in the world and doing right and justice. But this sounds like she wants revenge.
But tell me, what is the most frightening thing you have seen on your travels? No lo sé. These kind of things sound awful to me. Freedom. When I heal, I give freedom to others. So my calling to be una curandera, it is all about freedom.
So freedom for others, but not yourself, because previously she said she didn't choose this. It more or less chose her. So it's all about freedom, but not freedom from herself. It's like she's caught in a vicious cycle that she cannot get out of, and she has to find an apprentice.
There is una distinción muy importante between una bruja y una curandera. Both have the talent. A little different each, but it can be trained towards a way of life. Las brujas choose to hurt, and las curanderas choose to heal. Ay, estoy cansada. Very tired. Always I am alert for a woman with the talent of la curación, and una bruja intent on destruction. It is a hard life. So much responsibilidad. It wears on an old woman. The journey take me this way next.
I wonder if her plot twist is that maybe she is a witch, or maybe she dabbled in the darker aspects of that craft because she wants revenge for her cursed daughter. Well, the only way to find out is to go see her for chapter 3, and we'll do that later.
Where will you go? I hope we will meet again. There is more I would like to tell you about the life of La Curandera.
I cannot wait. Ooh. Okay, now I believe Bertha is up further north. Yes. So we need to go just follow the border between Nevada and California. How is everyone liking this game so far? I think it's fascinating. And there's so much to unlock and discover with these different characters and hearing their different stories, and how a lot of them just seem to like really hit home and are relatable, even though this is technically taking place in past years. It's still very much so relevant to today's society. And I love that.
He's seen better days.
Oh no! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, baby. Time to go. Ask what happened. It's sad either way.
Hard times all over, the bull says archly, with what seems to you an aristocratic air. Its blood still fresh pools around your feet.
Time to go or touch the... Why would you touch the blood? But I guess that's what we're going to do because we're in a video game.
You dip a finger in. Yes, yes, go on, sighs the bull. Why not? It soaks through your skin as if you were made of tissue, and it strikes you all of a sudden that you've never felt this good in your life. Sensing your astonishment, the bull just rolls its eyes.
What does it mean? Oh. I didn't lose health, so that seemed like if I was lacking health, I would have gained it by doing that. That's an awful way to get my stats back. Oh, okay. Recenter. Oh, I'm still not great with WASD. One day. One day. Tiny Motormouth is eagerly sharing the details of a strange tale with her brother as they loiter outside the store. The boy listens raptly, eyes growing larger, mouth hanging open like a fish. Listen in. She's telling him about the superhuman strength of the happy new grandfather. You try to hide your surprise. It's the story of the new grandfather. The version the girl must have heard is embellished, to say the least, but hey, it's a good story. She didn't embellish much. It's still the very exact same story. Move on. To me, that story didn't grow at all. Now I see another story over there on our right, but we are going to camp out with Bertha.
How have you been doing? I've been getting by. Barely, but getting by. Lately, I've been thinking a lot about my girls. My husband took them back to Oklahoma, where there's nothing left but death. Been so long since I last chuckled, I'm not sure my mouth can do it anymore. Can you tell me a story that'll make me laugh?
Well, since I found out that this is a funny story, let's try that.
Give me a moment just to catch my breath. Change. Well, look at it this way. Even if my children live, going back to Oklahoma, how are they supposed to grow up? 2 little girls with no woman to tell them how to manage. They'll come out wild like my husband's sister Bunny, running around in lipstick and overalls at the same time. Anyway, I'm looking for a good laugh. Do you know any funny stories? Oh, my sides hurt. Look, when my son was born dead. No reason to that. We don't get to pick what happens to us. I've had a hard day. Do you know any hopeful stories to cheer me up?
I sure do. And success, we have unlocked her chapter 3.
You can't spook me like that anymore.
Okay, so Tent City is a scary story.
The future. Do I look like I'm gonna be here in a few years' time? Every year it gets harder picking, and someday I won't be good for it at all. I'll have to find something else. But I will, because I have to. Anyway, know any good hopeful stories to share? I could sure use one. Thank you for sharing that one. I feel a little better now. I loved my husband up to when he took my girls back home. He said he'd rather lie down and die on Oklahoma soil than be spat on here. Well, I can't love someone that gives up, man or woman. Anyway, know any good hopeful stories to share? I could sure use one.
Oh, she's asking for a lot of hopeful, optimistic, which is fine. I feel like I have a good mixture of stories now, but still I'm gonna have to keep track of what I've already told some characters. I think this was a hopeful story.
Huh.
Nope.
And that's the saddest one you got?
It's sad. I'm sorry. You wanted something to pick you up, and I just let you down.
Freedom. I used to think if my husband would study at night and learn how to use a radio, he could have a different job that paid better. We could go anywhere. But he was always too tired to study. California isn't what they told us. It gets cold here at night, same as anywhere. And the people here weren't happy to see us coming. We spend all day hungry while we're picking lettuce and apricots. Abundance all around. But we don't dare touch it. And there's no more west to go. I'm headed this way to the next job. You say hello if we cross paths again, all right?
All right. Just want to double check. So we did, looks like this came from Quinn. A bandana, threadbare and slightly greasy, smelling of wood smoke and dogs. That could just be the campfire. So as we get to chapter 3s, we'll glean more collectibles. I do not need a stat boost. Oh, there's 2 stories over here. One right in front of us and one over there on the upper left. So we are going to grab these, and then I think I'm going to try to go back down to Las Vegas now that we have a full money meter, and try to hop a train, get us closer to Little Ben.
This club is quiet and cool and open 24 hours. So you slip into a booth near the back where it's too dark for people to see you haven't bought a drink. Up on stage, a slight little man approaches the microphone.
Hope he's a good singer.
He utters a long, sustained series of low, loud notes. Dissonant, like a song stretched out and slowed down. Your heart races. The crowd murmurs and bristles. The walls seem to shift uncomfortably too.
Sing something happy!
Someone shouts.
Time to leave, or let's see where this goes.
Half the room bails, but you grip the edge of the table and lock eyes on the singer. His next song is even slower and deeper. Your eardrums ache and your eyes water. A waiter struggles unsteadily across the room. Someone in the back shouts,
Stop it!
And against my better judgment, I'm going to stay seated.
The singer continues, and you lose track of yourself between the notes. When he finishes his set, you startle awake and realize that your face is damp with tears. The room is empty. The singer's looking at you, smiling, arm extended, an invitation for a solo.
Oh, I'm gonna sing.
He sits in the front row. You sing. Well, something. You haven't heard it before, but you know the words. And as you sing, a radiant satisfaction grows and grows at the center of your chest. Your eyes tear up, and you hit a triumphant final note.
It's love. A song about love.
But suddenly, the singer is gone. Your ears are ringing, and there's a waiter shouting for you to leave. Out on the sidewalk, everyone's losing their lunch, but you feel strangely warm. Love. A song about love. Too bad you can't remember the words.
Oh, that is so interesting. The unnerving lounge singer. Okay. I'm having a hard time discerning which things are, oops, you lost health, or oh, you gained it. I think gray just means no change because I'm already full up. But I took a chance and I think it paid off. I feel like a nice story out of it. I don't know, how did it all make you feel? I think if maybe the stat changes were accompanied by some sort of sound effect, that would be good. That might help. I think that would help me personally, just be able to discern what goes up and down. Everything seems to happen really fast.
This dapper little peddler shifts restlessly from foot to foot beside his cart, wringing his hands and glancing around as if he's in some kind of mild agony.
Hey,
He calls, holding up a quarter.
I gotta piss. Will you watch my stuff for a minute?
Sure, but why do we have the tower icon?
He flips you a quarter and hurries off down the road. 5 minutes later, he still hasn't returned, but a whole crowd is marching toward you from the other direction. They start shoving and screaming at you.
That's ominous. And I paid attention that time, so the money icon that flashed up was gray. So no change because I already got full up. What's the matter?
The man grabs you by the arm. You working with them? He shows you 6 tiny, bloody teeth in the palm of his hand. My daughter's dying.
I had nothing to do with it.
You show them the quarter and point them off down the road. And thank goodness they believe you. Most rush off after the peddler, but 5 or 6 stay behind to kick the cart over and stomp everything to pieces.
What? Move on? The peddler with poison wares? Whoa. Okay, I know I said I was going to try and make a beeline back for Las Vegas, but I see another blurb over here behind the mountain. There's one over there on the far right. Oh, there's so many stories over here.
This church's doors stand open. You wander in to ask for a glass of water. There's no preacher, only a disheveled music teacher and a class of young men picking out bawdy songs on the organ.
Ask for water.
The group can't hear you over an improvised erotic limerick shouted over an equally indelicate tune.
How badly am I hurting for water? That's better. Well, I sat and stayed for that other lounge singer, so sure, I'll listen to them.
The verses escalate in depravity until the music finally swells and comes to the grand finale.
Stay silent. I'm gonna applaud.
Smiling, the teacher invites you to a seat in the pews. A boy returns with water and cookies, and as you eat, the group sings a song about genitalia in perfect 3-part harmony. Wonderful! The teacher cries. Again!
That's weird. Music teacher with the bawdy songs, my goodness. All these stories are so unique and unexpected half the time. I love it.
You suddenly become conscious of something heavy in the air. The light of the cigarette breaks the darkness. In its glow, you see the face. Something inside you wishes you hadn't. ¿Quieres esto? He rasps. Then, cigarette.
So I can either take the cigarette or decline. I'm not a smoker, so my instinct is to decline, which means we're gonna take the cigarette.
You pluck the cigarette from his fingers, and suddenly, his whole body starts to dissolve. You watch him disintegrate until all that remains of him is on the floor. A disquieting pile of, well, what would you call it? Bone meal?
What do you mean, eat the bone meal? Well, I guess in a way he died to get me this cigarette, so I'll smoke it.
Coolly, you take a long drag on the cigarette, and then erupt in a coughing fit that lasts a full 5 minutes. It's a little embarrassing, but from the bone meal on the ground, it's clear things could be worse.
Okay, so it sounds like I got out of that one. Okay, I'm gonna move on. Oh my. Okay, was there something over here? There is. Let me try to fill my heart back up real quick over here, and then I want to backtrack. And who is this in front of me right now? Oh, Bertha again. Okay, well, we'll just ignore her for now. Forgotten in a corner of the field, a small basket of yams. Bury them under a fire, and you've got a full meal and more. Move on. Nice. Okay, I like it when my meters are full. Gosh, there's so many stories over here. Well, let's grab this one up here. It seemed like it was off by itself.
You come across the two musicians on the corner, playing no louder than a murmur. The blind one to the left doesn't sing so much as moan. If we are willing, he will teach us to love our brothers, to dance and sing.
Well, considering that I've already sat for 2 musical performances this episode, it would be remiss of me to just leave. I will stay.
It continues. We dream of his seat in heaven. Around our heads his flowers ring.
Stay.
O Prince in heaven we sing for rapture. We all must perish, our flowers and our names. But the flowers in our Prince's kingdom, they shall not perish, they shall remain.
Stay.
There is a joy there, and there is friendship. For our passage we shall sing. We dream of his seat in heaven. Around our heads his flowers ring. They stop and look at you expectantly, nodding at their empty hat.
Of course I'm going to tip
You throw
them.
them a coin. Obliged, they both say, and sing the song all over again.
Move on. That was nice. These folks are setting up a cooking tent in the corner of a fairground. Beyond them, bigger tents rise like clouds. You want to make some cash? The manager asks. A long, hot day serving funnel cakes and bussing tables in the dining tents. But you're paid well. Move on.
Oh no, he's not coming over to you, is he? Hello there, the preacher says through a glued shut smile that's too wide and too smug. Have you heard the good news?
No, what is it?
You're lying, he hisses. Lying! You do know! He seizes your face in his gnarled hands. What is it? What is it? His knotted fingers tear open your mouth and have just begun reaching inside when some good Samaritans drag him away and off to the drunk tank.
Not cool, man. That was weird, and I'm like, weirder than usual. Oh, we've not been to San Francisco yet. Huge crowds gather on the street corners as they wait for the never-ending streams of automobiles and cable cars to rumble past. You can see the Golden Gate Bridge taking form against the horizon. Oh, let's explore! I go to the store first. What do they got in the store? They got crusty sourdough, scrambled eggs, iced coffee, or fried chicken. Well, I'm gonna need that coffee because I'm a sleepy girl.
Your knees make a nasty cracking sound with every step. Wandering this infernal city of steep hills takes its toll. Just over the crest of one hill, you find a stopped truck. Yang Chow, fresh fruit and vegetables. It's laden with colorful produce.
Approach.
You know anything about engines?
Asks a man, obscured by the raised triangular hood of the truck.
Sorry, I don't, or a little bit. A little bit.
You come around next to him. One glance tells you that there's nothing obviously wrong with the engine, but there's smoke coming from somewhere deep behind and beneath it. The gearbox, maybe.
Sorry, it's beyond me.
Ah, never mind. He just slams down the hood of the truck, wisps of smoke leaking out of it. He sits on the edge of the truck bed, and you get a good look at him. He's tall, well-built, fans himself with his Panama hat.
Sent my brother over to get a real mechanic, but,
Nod.
well, I can barely keep this running as it is. Wish I still had a farm.
He sighs theatrically, surprising himself with his own easy honesty.
Sam Liang, landless, broke truck driver. Dad would have been proud.
Ooh, these sound like both touchy subjects. What happened to the farm or what happened to your father? I feel like we could hazard a guess about what happened to the farm if he is staying consistent in the Dust Bowl era time period. But sure, let's ask what happened to his father.
My old man was, well, he was old. Guys like him didn't get a lot of chances to start a family.
He glances around the upwards parabola of the hill, at the placid row houses around you.
I was just a kid when it happened. The '06 quake. I can still remember. Barely.
Okay, is it 1906 or 2006? I'm thinking it's 1906. I'm gonna look it up real quick. Yep, San Francisco earthquake 1906. I had to check. I figured I would remember something from 2006, but this game was also released in 2018, and anything is possible. Move on. Let's try to earn some money. You wander the streets of the city looking for a way to make some cash. Look for work. Oh no, not the lumber warehouse. You wait outside a lumber warehouse for hours. You don't get there early enough for work in the warehouse, but trucks swing by every few minutes picking up loads of fresh wood and sometimes a few people from the street corner for a job elsewhere in the city. Wait. A battered pickup stops at the curb. There's only a few planks in the bed truck and this cab is packed with teenagers. Not the teenagers are again. No, doing what? And we're gonna be like, no thank you. I'm not getting in the car with you again. Move on. We've We've already gone down that road. Well, now I cannot take the train unless there's a house nearby that I can get a stat boost from.
You,
She snaps.
level with me now. Would you walk 10 miles every day with heavy bags under your arms and a silly box on your head for some bent, double-crossing, hopped up, out-of-shape man?
Yeah. No. No, I wouldn't.
That's what I said, too, at first. I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at you.
What? The bitter lover carrying a box on her head. Okay, I figured it was like a wife-girlfriend situation. That was still weird. A long black car growls up in front of this hotel. Out steps a woman in extravagant hat and coat, followed by a whole crowd of hangers-on. Is she a singer? An actress? You don't recognize her face, but to your surprise, you recognize the story she's telling. Listen in. In a sharp transatlantic accent, she's telling everyone in her party a story about the kindly witch whose house arrives in thunderstorms to serve the stranded. It's clearly the story of the house that only appears when the thunder strikes, but changed in a few entertaining ways. Isn't that something? She asks. Her various followers agree. She pays the driver of the limousine and sweeps into the hotel like a thunderstorm of red velvet. Someone should do a picture about it, you hear her exclaim. Move on. This young city is packed with folks heading out for work at Boulder Dam. It's also packed with, well, vice. Been a while since you've seen so many people having a good time. Let's explore, earn some money, hopefully, and then if we earn money, we will go to the train station.
The neon-gilded main streets thronged with revelers. He passed beneath a glittering marquee onto a dazzling casino floor. A croupier stands behind a red and black wheel, wearing a spotless suit and an easy smile. He winks as you approach.
Care to place a bet?
No thanks, or make it... Sure, let's use the rest of my money to make a bet.
He grins at you, snag-toothed smile.
Black or red then, stranger? Outside bet. Even odds.
He spreads his hands, the ball pinched between forefinger and thumb.
Red.
Nothing but the
Oh.
tick-clack of wood as the ball jumps from red to black and back again. It comes to rest on red.
Your lucky day, stranger.
The croupier grins.
Pass it on, yeah? Lots of folks around here who want it.
A pair steps up to take your place. All on black.
Move on. Oh, well, that was a nice surprise. Where can we go in the train station? Los Angeles or Santa Fe? Well, that's not very far. I might just be better off walking and finding more stories along the way. You wanted me to spend all of my money to come to LA, and it didn't take that long to walk here? Are you kidding me? That would have been a waste of a whole $1. Okay, San Francisco, Las Vegas, Santa Fe, El Paso. Still not taking me as far as I want to go to justify getting in the train. Well, maybe it is. It can get me to Texas. Okay, well, I'm in California, and if I want to get back to Little Bend, it does not look like I'm going to make it on this episode, so I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Thank you so much for joining me. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!